I'm Zach Elmblad, and you're watching the multi-part presentation, Borderline Vagabond. This is Chapter 13, and if you want to start with Chapter 1, you should go ahead and click right here. Very good. Chapter 13, Ghosts. I left Jasmine's house the next morning with mixed feelings. I felt like I would never again be able to reconstruct the circumstances that led up to this crazy moment in time. I thought that maybe I had just used up the last of my magic on conjuring this manifested fantasy. What if I could find a way to relive the past? To change it? Would I really ever want to? Hadn't the whole point been about the pursuit of happiness? What would I do now that I'd found some? Why would I stop and settle down at the mere sight of a place to do it? Was the pursuit of happiness more engaging to me than the catch? We have to reassure ourselves that we're on the right track. It's easy enough to get distracted, and I'm sure I could have distracted myself for a good long time down there in North Carolina. I couldn't shake the feeling that I didn't belong there, and that I had to keep on moving if I was going to find a purpose to this madness. I was far beyond the point of no return, and any road back was a new road forward. I had built a life for myself back in the Mitt, a journey that, even though I complained about it, was mine alone to chart and navigate, an experience that it was up to me to cultivate and interpret, a life that I wanted to continue living to its organic conclusion. My purpose was not to stay here in North Carolina, but to visit and leave. Our lives become so convoluted and disorganized over time. We make friends and lose touch with them. We love and never remember to say it outright. We get into fights and do things that we don't understand. We labor for goals and achieve them, and then move on completely, and we sometimes sloppily swim about the vast seas of life without proper navigation or charts. We get lost in the movements of time, of identity, of success, and of the view from our own corner of reality. We forget that we're part of other people's lives as much as they are parts of ours. It's that common link between humans that some of us refer to as collective consciousness. The idea that we're all metaphysically connected in some imperceptible way. Some of us are more aware of it than others, and some of us ignore the connection completely by insisting that other people have no influence on us whatsoever. Maybe I was the problem. Whatever inability I might have previously had to find the main nerve could have just been attributed to my own lack of vision or experience. If you want to walk somewhere, but you never pick a path, you'll never get anywhere. Life as the vagabond could have eliminated all of my ties to work, relationships, home, and reality in general. Was that really so appealing? Why would I abandon everything I cared about? As much as we might like to pretend that the world is all adventures and hunts for metaphorical dreamlands, it's nice to drop by your folks' place every once in a while and have a chat over tea about Aunt Murtis's cataracts. My story had become some kind of myth where I was destined to travel around forever, seeking what I perceived as a higher evolution of self-identity, but was doomed to find it forever out of reach. Or maybe it was like the hunt for El Dorado, Atlantis, the Fountain of Youth, or Lemuria. Pick your poison. Those mythological aspects of our heritage are supposed to remind us that some things aren't meant to be pursued, and that human beings aren't always creatures of perfection and higher ideals. We have to be humbled by reality. We have to remember that we eat shit and die like the rest. Those times after the show is over, when the set is being taken down and the wigs are all crated up, long after the crowds go home. After the bar closes, when the hallways are swept and the vomit has been mopped from the bathroom floor. After the party is over, when the drunk model shits the bed. After the inaugural address, when the trash of 3 million fat Americans is cleaned up by the downtrodden municipal workers that will never see the fruition of campaign promises. The crying toddler that just realized cartoon characters aren't real. The guy that gets passed over for the promotion. The caller right after the person that won the tickets. On the rarest occasion, if we press on far enough, just around that next bend, we prevail. We get the prize. We win the championship. We fight the cancer into remission. We overcome our demons. We live to fight another day. We lose the battle and win the war. We stand up on our own 2 feet. We grab destiny by the throat, and we overcome the impossible to forge ahead into the unknown. These conquests don't come without a price. The sacrifices we make to become who we are can sometimes be innumerable. The most difficult part of seeking impermanence is the denial of chances to come back down to ground level. My heart goes out to those that can find silence in the noise, to those who can settle, who can take what they have and be happy with it, to those who can live vicariously through others, to those who can let the years melt by like it's no big thing, like it was meant to be that way, to those who can ignore the gross injustices in our society, to those who can just let it all happen without even giving it a second thought, to those who don't wake up every day with the urge to change the world around them, and to those who are happy to just stay where they are, go with the flow, or leave it up to fate. My heart goes out to them, and I feel sorry for them. They don't know the thrill of being wrong and then finding out a new way. They don't know the thrill of pursuing an impossible goal and then making possible the impossible. They don't know what it's like to be hurt so bad you'd be willing to sacrifice everything you have just to feel whole again. And then actually feeling whole again by the strength of their own will, no sacrifice necessary. They don't get to learn from those terrible experiences that you look back upon with transcendent understanding. They don't get to progress through the metamorphosis of seeker to finder. They don't get to find their own road. They just take whatever one looks nice and easy. They never stop, and so they miss everything along the way.